Hello and welcome back to Rayman Origins. We'll start today's update with a vertical level, which is a really nice change of pace from all the horizontal action. Okay, can't go down. Yikes, definitely can't go left. Of course, it's just the game's way of telling that you have to take a dive all the way to the bottom, so we get to climb back up. So there's your explanation for the level name. Riveting. There are also tons of diverging paths, as you can probably tell from this screen alone, and it's really nice, given that you can choose what path you want to take if you just want to run through the level. Seeing how this is a 100% playthrough, however, I'm gonna pretty much scout each and every location there is to the map. Here's a pretty good example. Of course you're gonna go for the coin on the right, but if you take the left path, there's one hidden away behind the leaves on the foreground. Lots of nooks and crannies and a whole lot of stuff tucked away out of sight. You saw that caterpillar there. There was another one in the first or second level we did in this world, and I don't think I said anything about them. Basically, they're just stylized platforms. They have a static position, and when you get above them, they pop out of the walls, lending you a hand. I stink at this bonus. I don't know why. I guess it has to do with the descending platforms and the fact they throw off my jumps. Did okay this time, though. Of course, we also gotta get the coin from down here. Oh, something to keep in mind. Most of the spike enemies disperse when you get close enough, so you don't really have to worry about them, even if it seems like they're blocking your path. Ugh, I hate these guys here. I never figured out how the controls work inside them. It just feels awkward. I do like these rotating stones, though. It feels like something straight out of an Indiana Jones movie. Aside from a few pitiful ruins we've seen, it's also the first indication that we're in a temple of some sort. And even then, it's kind of a fictitious temple, too. What's next? Pressure plates and arrow traps? Poison darts? Disgruntled natives? Nazis? Purple caterpillars. They're just the reverse of the green ones, meaning once you step on them, they burrow back inside their holes. They're also usually positioned over some precarious spot, such as a tentacle claw pool over here. Oh, that was stupid. I forgot the spikes actually switched places. A nod of recognition to anyone who can find this hidden batch of lumps on the screen. I swear, that batch of lumps is one of the most difficult things to find in the game. It just blends in with everything. The flying secrets are kind of common from here on out, really. Which means we've effectively doubled the amount of airtime in the Let's Play. Can't say I'm too happy about that. Oh, come on, that's a cheap trick. It fired the missile before I ever even got on the screen, so I couldn't say it was coming from above. I was really saved by luck, because I didn't remember it while I was playing this. That's about as cheap as it gets, man. You guys ready for the final ascent? Buckle up, because here we go. No, grab the guy, you stupid, limbless, useless... Oh. Well, I have no idea why I left that in, but I guess it was kind of funny. Anyway, moving on. After that, it's a really non-threatening climbing section. I don't know how you'd ever screw this up. And we're good. There's some stuff you can do in the moving wall segment if you like. Not that it's of any use, but still. First off, I found a safe spot to stand in while the walls start moving and move all the way to the end. Doesn't do you much good, but it gives you this hiding hole you can stay in. You can even get out of there, but there's even less to do over to the left. I tried climbing back up, but it turns out the hole is too narrow to get back in. So, I ended up having to kill myself. And finally, the music flag. It triggers the last bit of music in the climb sequence, but you can re-trigger it as many times as you like. Okay, I swear, just one more and I'll quit. Okay, let's finish this. Hold on, what am I doing? There's a wall running segment. Of course I gotta do that. Haha, satisfying. I could have just kicked the ball that releases the ceiling, but you know, where's the fun in that? If you could wall run, you might as well do it. 391, that's a lot. Of course I took pretty much each and every path the level had, but we still didn't have to worry all that much. Something pretty nasty is going on to the right, but before we can investigate, we got this one level to do. Still Flowing is a sequel or counterpart to the first world level Go With The Flow, which was one of my favorites, and I think this one might be even better, so yeah, we got a lot of good stuff coming up ahead. I like this screen. It looks a lot different than the others, and also it makes use of the wall running and jumping ability. It's a little thing, but it adds variety. It's pretty easy to miss, but you can turn small over here. While I don't like the power-up that much, it's still a nice change of pace, and we're gonna need it in just a little bit. Wow, messed that one up. Come on, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. I think I got a few of them. Over here to the left, we have a coin that you can't get if you're huge. I could go back, turn myself big again, but for variety's sake, let's see how this plays out. Huh, not too great obviously. How did I even get hit there? You would think it's even easier when you're small because the hitbox is smaller too. Oh well. Not sure if we've covered this, but you can actually ride the enemy balloons if you bubblize them first. That is, if you're small, of course. Then again, I can't remember a single area in the game where you actually had to use that. Still, gotta appreciate the attention to detail there. I don't know what's up with these platforms. They almost always require 3 stomps or 1 each when you're tiny, whereas they all go down in 1 ground stomp if you're big. I've managed to penetrate all of them with just 1 ground stomp when I'm small, but I've no idea how I did it. So that's just a 1 extra reason not to use the tiny character when you're going for speedruns. This area is one of my favorites, by the way. It completely differs from everything in the level so far. And as far as I can remember, it's the only screen where you can swim when you're tiny in the entire game. Not that it makes a big difference since the controls are completely unchanged. I don't really get the secret here. If you're small, you could simply climb the wall to the livet stone and get it over with. I'm just doing this for posterity's sake. Drop down the platform, kill the livet stone, open the path to the cage. You could completely skip the first phase if you're small. If your size is normal, you'd have to do some hovering off the wall, so it's slightly more understandable that you'd go after the first pillar on the right. But by now you already know how to climb walls with the hover ability, so I don't know what's up with that. I'm sorry I don't have any footage of doing it the easy way. I seem to have misplaced it somewhere. Final screen already, huh? Too bad, I was really enjoying myself. Oh, come on, get down there already! Something is amiss. I forgot 2 guys, and I can't fit through there anymore. Bunch of time wasters. Why can't you just die like every other decent livid stone enemy so far? I really gotta hand it to the devs here. Still Flowing is one of my favorite levels in the game, and definitely my favorite in Ticklish Temples. It just has a lot of variety in it, you know. It has a water area, it has a tree area, and it makes a lot of use for all the power-ups you have, even though you don't necessarily need them. It's just a really fun level to play.
Fantastic, Faye.
Okay, time for something completely different. Okay, let's go say hello to the first boss of the second half, Carnivora. It kicks off with a chase sequence. There's a whole bunch of stuff scattered inside all the platforms, so you have to kind of memorize where everything is. That is, if you want to collect everything. I mean, you really don't have to. You're gonna get the medal really easily here, but if it's worth doing, it's worth overdoing. Besides, it's just about the only way to extract any challenge from this phase of the fight. Since, as you can tell, that guy is a complete slowpoke. This part took me some trial and error. I found out that the best way is to grab the power-up first and immediately dash for the coin. You have to get the coin on your way up, because once Carnivora comes to a standstill, you can see that his head will collide with the coin, which makes it really difficult to get, if not downright impossible. Okay, let's see here. 1 lum, 1 lum, 1 lum. Ah, that's what I was looking for. 5 shiny ones. I never remember where that 1 heart is, but we don't really need it. In fact, we already have enough lumps for the medal, and we're gonna get a ton after we beat the boss too. As I've said, the second half of the game is a lot more generous with them. Aww, too small a hole for you to fit through? You may want to lose some of that weight, buddy. Finally gave up, huh? Here I am, a tasty little morsel. Have a bite. Well, have it your way. The music here is all ominous. I don't know why. There's nothing here to hurt you aside from spikes. Carnivora can be seen shuffling in the background, but she can't actually reach you here, so I don't get it. Well, I suppose it had to have a proper boss fight. This is actually really simple. Carnivora has 3 phases, so it's just a question of memorizing her patterns. After the first hit, she'll climb to the ceiling, and it's just a matter of dodging her attacks and waiting for another weak spot to appear. And there it is. You want to stand still when she's swaying around like that. It's really easy to get hit if you don't. Third and final form. She jumps twice backwards, then makes a huge leap forwards. And then she does it again. Or does she? Tongue surprise! Let's finish this with a bang. Oh, you're a vegan. So that's why your name is Carnivora. That makes all the sense in the world. I'm sort of torn about the level itself. I mean, I like boss fights as much as the next guy, okay? It's just... if it's a preordained pattern that the bosses utilize, it's just trial and error the first few times around where you can't help but die because you don't know what they're gonna do next, but after a couple of tries, it's always the same, and there's absolutely no room for failure, so I'm sort of ambivalent about these bosses. Still, a good way to wrap things up. After you beat Carnivora, there's a beam that goes to Moody Cloud, so let's see what it looks like over there. And punch some teensies while we're at it, I guess. Why not?
Almost there, Erdi.
Nothing much to see here really. A dancing teensy, a levitating fairy, and a beam of light, as opposed to before, so we won't be coming back here until we've cleared the rest of the levels. See you next time with Time Trials.